I need a pen too. I don't know where my pen at. I'm gonna have to like put like 20 pens on my desk every time I walk in, because every day I need a new pen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you're coming on, I want you to hit that like button, hit that share button, toss it. Tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, let them know your boy, Prophet Ramone, the Ramonepreston show, and the whole squad is live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. If you want to dig deeper into a conversation that we've been having for the last few days this week with regard to business and holding companies and the management and the day-to-day operations of those types of entities, we digging deeper today. So I want you to hit that like button, hit that share button, and please do your boy a favor. Tag Lolly Dolly, everybody. Shout out to all of my social media family members and friends. I consider y'all to be family, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on whatever platform Elon Musk and the Martians are creating on Mars. Shout out to all of you. I appreciate your love, your prayers, your support. I definitely appreciate all your comments, your feedback, all the questions that we continue to get on the live show and after the live show. We get a lot of inboxes, DMs, we get emails, we get forms on our websites and platforms filled out. We get a lot of questions just about finances, about business, about entrepreneurship, about holding companies, of course. That's one of the top subjects that we get questions on. And we appreciate all of your feedback. So if you're watching, welcome to the Ramonepreston show. As you may know, if you're not aware of it, let me make you aware of it. Every day, Monday through Friday, we come to you right here live from the RP Enterprises headquarters in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. And every day, Monday through Friday, we're sharing with you the most important information concerning financial literacy, entrepreneurship, business ownership, real estate investing, family legacy wealth building. Those are the core areas that we discuss because it makes up what our company is about, whether it's our consulting firm, whether it's our coaching program, or whether it's our world-class blueprint game plan program, which is our online version of this information. All platforms that we have, all divisions that we run in our company are centered around us educating you, empowering you. And that's why we bring it to you Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock noon. Not always 12 o'clock noon. You know, I be late, you know, putting some logistics together. We're actually preparing to move to a whole nother wing on this same floor. So we're not just gonna have one office, we're gonna have multiple offices. We're gonna have a whole wing. I'm talking about we doing wings and things. We're gonna have a whole wing. I mean, we taking over the whole wing. And it's gonna be awesome because we're gonna be doing some weekly training in our new suite for our company. We're gonna be doing some sales training. We're gonna be doing some prophetic training. We're gonna be doing some ministry training. We're gonna be hiring some people as well. I have a certain goal to hire a certain amount of people before this year ends. And so we're gonna be looking for some key people to join our team. So stay on the lookout. If you're already good with a business or a career, just keep us in your prayers because we're expanding. We have an objective to bring a whole lot of economic deliverance and breakthrough to millions and millions of people all around this world, probably hundreds of millions, if not billions of people. And we're going to do that every day we get a chance to grace these platforms. So welcome to the show. Please let me know what city you're watching us from. I was going back to some of the news feed from our last show. We had Phoenix, Arizona. We had Los Angeles, California. We had Florida. I was looking at some of the cities that people were watching from, and I was like, come on now, come on through here. Dallas, Texas, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Southern California, Kenya, Ontario, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I mean, we have a lot of people that watch the Ramonepreston show from different areas. North Carolina, we have, I think that's Spain. So just looking through some of the feed and seeing the type of, sorry, my screen went out. Now I'm talking about Dale. I'm talking all that junk about Dale. Oh my God. If y'all just seen the screen go out, I just connected my screen to this big old MacBook, and we've been talking, or iMac, we've been talking a whole lot of junk about the other computer monitor we was using. And look, we don't want to spend all this money. And I know that was Dale just throwing some shade, right? I probably got to go on there and what is it? Do the sleep. I have to make sure the sleep is not on. So I'll just keep my eyes on it. But anyway, whatever city you're watching from, please drop your city in the comments. Let everybody else see where you're watching from. You never know. You might have people in the city that's watching where you're at, and they might be able to do business with you. They might be potential business partners or clients and customers. And so we want to make sure that we are creating a community, because we've already created a community. Our company has already created a community. Our ministry network has created a community. But now we're just expanding that community, not just for the people in our own personal or business and ministry ecosystem, but for the world, because we want our global community to be a part of what we're doing, because this is the season, this is the time, this is the moment for God to raise you up and to transfer the wealth that's needed for you to accomplish what He has given you to do. So shout out to all of you. Today, guess what we're going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about the one thing every business has in common. Does anybody know the one thing every business has in common? If you think you know what the one thing is, I want you to drop that in the comments. What is the one thing every business around the world has in common? Now, this discussion today is going to kind of tie into what we talked about yesterday with regard to the day-to-day managing of your holding company. So if you have a business and or have a holding company that's made up of multiple business, or if you have an interest in starting a business or starting a holding company, well, you're going to have to run the day-to-day operations of it. In other words, just because you have a LLC, whether it's categorized as a holding company or as some other type of company, it doesn't mean you know how to run the day-to-day operations of that company. And so I'm very big on teaching our students in our university. I'm very big on consulting our coaching clients and our business clients on how to manage and run the day-to-day operations of the business that they're putting together. Because in order for your business to actually run successfully, in order for your business to actually grow, and in order for your business to sustain that successful growth, you have to have certain systems in place that you as the CEO of that business are capable of managing and running, or at least overseeing the day-to-day operations of. And so I'm gonna tie that to what we talked about yesterday. So if you have questions that you didn't get a chance to ask yesterday about holding companies, about managing holding companies, about building business systems, I want you to call in today, 678-922-1963, extension 1. If you dial 678-922-1963, extension 1, it's going to come directly to my phone while we on the live, and I'm going to answer your question. So what is the one thing that every business has in common? Does anybody know that? Does anybody know that? Does anybody want to take a shot at that? Most people probably don't know. But once you hear it, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, you're right, Prophet Ramone. I get that part. What is the one thing that every business has in common? Now, this is a question that I like to answer, even if I'm not asked, because we have people from overseas. We have people in other countries that reach out to us. And one of their issues is always centered around the principles that we teach here in America, do they apply where they are? Like, if I get your university program, if I get the blueprint game plan, if I get coaching from you and I'm in the UK, or if I'm in Nigeria, or if I'm in Dubai, can I apply those principles there for my business and for my entrepreneurship? Of course you can, because there's one universal common denominator with every business anywhere in the world. No matter what the economic system is, no matter what the political system is, no matter what type of infrastructure that company has, there is still one fundamental, one basic, one universal common denominator that all businesses have. And you know what that is? It's called a financial statement. It's called a financial statement. So the one thing every business has in common, if you're watching, I want you to drop that in the comments. Even if you don't write that whole statement out, the one thing every business has in common is what? A financial statement. Every business has a financial statement. You can go visit Dubai and find a business and ask that business owner, do you have a financial statement? Guess what they're going to say? Yes. If you go to Iran, if you go to London, if you go to Italy, if you go to, what are some other countries? If you go to Thailand, if you go to Africa, if you go to Egypt, if you go to the North Pole, if you go to Australia, and find a business owner and ask the business owner, does your business have a financial statement? Guess what they're going to say? Of course my business has a financial statement, because a financial statement basically highlights the profits, the expenses, and the net profits of that business. Or to simplify it, the financial statement is going to show the top line revenue. It's going to show all the expenses associated or costs associated to that business operation. And then it's going to show the net profits, or what's left, pre-tax or post-tax. That's a financial statement. So if you're using an accounting system like QuickBooks for your business, if you're using an accounting system or a financial management system for your personal finances, like the Mint app or like some of these other financial apps, guess what? You are simulating in your personal finances what a financial statement looks like for your business finances. There is no business on planet Earth that does not have a financial statement. It doesn't mean that they're utilizing it. It doesn't mean that they understand it. I know a lot of business owners that don't even have a financial management system. They're not using any financial management systems, which means they're not tracking the income, the expenses, and the net profits of their businesses. But I want to bring this to your awareness because it doesn't matter where you are on the planet. If you have a business and you start the business correctly, and you structure the business correctly, and you develop the right strategies to scale the business correctly, guess what's going to happen? Your business is going to grow and your business is going to succeed. This is one of the reasons why I'm always pushing not just our blueprint game plan, but I'm always pushing our coaching and our consulting, because we specialize in helping people like you, especially if you're an entrepreneur or you want to be an entrepreneur, or if you're a small business owner. We push this concept of starting, structuring, and scaling your business, your ministry, whatever your organization is. Because when you can start it correctly, and when you can structure it correctly, you can scale it successfully, because you understand that the business itself, or the exchange, or the lack thereof, is not necessarily the problem. See, a lot of people use this as a problem. They use this as an issue. They use this as an excuse because, well, because of where I'm located at, people don't really want my business. because of where I'm located at, people don't want this type of ministry or nonprofit. That ain't the problem, because no matter where you are in the world, you have the same common denominator as every other business or entity, which is you have a financial statement, and your financial statement should be on the top of your business priority list, if you know what I mean. Why should it be on the top of your business priority list? Because if you're owning a business, if you're owning an entity, it is your responsibility as the CEO, it is your responsibility as the owner of that entity to identify with what is most important, which is what's on that top line of that financial statement. That is revenue. If you just Google, if you just take a moment right now and Google financial statement, if you Google profit and loss statement, if you Google business general ledger, if you Google business balance sheet, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see different versions of a financial statement. But when you look at the top of all of those financial statements, you're going to see words like sales. You're going to see words like profits. You're going to see words like gross revenue. You're going to see words like gross income. It may be different words, but it's all the same. So one of the most common words that you see on the top of a financial statement is the word sales. The word sales. Why is the word sales on the top of a financial statement? Because business experts who created these financial statements, who keep modifying these financial statements, or accounting experts who have developed these financial statements, they all know unanimously that the common denominator for every business is sales, thus being the financial statement. Because if that business is not making sales, or in other words, if that business is not generating revenue, if that business is not experiencing gross profits, guess what's happening? That business does not exist. So if you have any questions about sales, about financial statements, about starting and structuring and scaling your business properly, I want you to either dial the number that's in the comments, or I want you to just drop your question in the comments. Because see, I run into this issue a lot of times with people. And I'm talking about people like business owners. I'm talking about people like entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, independent contractors, self-employees. And they're always using these issues and items as excuses because of where they located, or because everybody cheap, or because everybody wants something for free, or because the economy is bad, or because Corona done shut everything down. Well, that just means you have to pivot to make sure that you remain focused on the words that are on the top of your financial statement. But if you don't know what a financial statement is, and if you know it, if you're not focused on that financial statement, at least the top line of that financial statement as a business owner, how you gonna stay in business? You're not even aware of what you need. You're not even aware of what you want. You cannot be in business. You cannot be an entrepreneur. You cannot have an organization of any kind and not know what belongs on the top line of that financial statement. So if that means you need $5,000 a month for that business to thrive and stay alive and grow, if you need $2,000 a month, if you need $20,000 a month, just knowing that changes your mindset. But if you just waking up every day, man, I need to get the bag. I need to grind. You calling family members and friends, I just need some doors to open for me. I need God to do something for me. God like, nah, boo, I need you to learn how to run a legitimate business operation. Yeah. I need you to educate yourself. I need you to take all that revelation I gave you in prayer. I need you to take all that anointing that I have empowered you with, and I need you to complement it with some information. I need you to complement that anointing that you got, or that gift that you believe God gave you. Complement it with some information. So you have to focus on the top line of that revenue. Now, remember yesterday, I was talking to y'all about how to manage a holding company. Some of y'all might remember that. And there are different things that you have to do, you know, like logistically, or I'm trying to find a different word so it don't sound too bougie. There are some things that you have to do like operationally when it comes to like running that business. There are some things that you have to do, like you have to have like certain marketing systems. Let me give an example. You need marketing system. In order to run, excuse me, the day-to-day operations, this pollen up here is crazy. I appreciate it because I felt my throat being a little raspy over here. And I'm like, that coffee ain't helping at all. So I need some water. What? No, we ain't throwing that coffee away. No, we need that caffeine. So when you think about running the day-to-day operations, because I talked about it yesterday on how to manage a holding company. Let's just assume you want to have a holding company, or you have a holding company. You have your business set up as a holding company. Okay, how are you going to run the day-to-day operations of it? Well, you're going to have to bring in certain marketing systems. That means you're going to have like an email campaign system. You're going to have a sales system. You're going to have like a CRM connected to your business so you can gather data. You're going to have some type of database infrastructure. You're going to have some type of administrative system connected to it where you are able to scale and grow it when you're ready to hire people. You're able to publish information when you have to publish information, or send contracts out, or develop letterheads. A lot of this is administrative. I'll get back to that. We got a question on YouTube.
Yeah.
Question.
Rondo, Mr. Anderson. He was like, if I have a holding company over my trucking company, and I put the truck in the holding company name, and I have an accident, won't the holding company get sued also? Should I put my truck in the holding company?
If you have the question is, if I have a holding company and a trucking company, the holding company is over your trucking company, but the truck is in the holding company's name.
Yeah.
If you're asking, if you get in an accident, won't the holding company be liable or get sued? Mm-hmm. Yes, because the truck is in the holding company's name. So the ideal thing to do is, and I've seen it done a couple ways. The ideal thing to do is for your holding company to own the trucking company, and for the trucking company to have the truck in its name, so that if there's an accident with the truck, the company that owns the truck is insured, and the truck is going to be covered by the insurance that is on the trucking company, not the holding company. The holding company should not have the truck as an asset. It shouldn't have that, because the truck is out there operating, unless the holding company is leasing the truck. But even then, I would put the truck in a leasing company. I would start a whole nother company just to have a company that owns trucks and leases them. Two companies like a trucking company. But I would not have that truck in the holding company, because that truck is a liability. That's kind of like putting a house in a holding company. You're going to put that house in its own LLC. So that truck is like a business itself. That truck should be separate from the holding company, because it's its own business. So that's the ideal way to do it. And again, I've seen scenarios where someone has a holding company. Let me see here if I can pull it up real quick, since I got my little gadgets going on. Where's my holding company? I got all my little pictures here. Where's my holding company at? Trying to find my holding company picture. I got my whole pictures, my whole squad pictures showing. I don't think I can show it right now. I got to look for it. But my point is, I'll just explain it verbally. I've seen it where someone has a holding company at the top, right? And they have a trucking company that is owned by the holding company, like how you have it set up. But if they don't have the truck in the trucking company, they will start a leasing company just to hold any equipment like trucks. So if they have trucking company A, trucking company B, trucking company C, this leasing company can always lease the trucks to those companies for a certain period of time. So you're either going to have a leasing company separate from the trucking company and separate from the holding company, but both are owned by the holding company, or you're going to just put the truck in the trucking company. But yeah, if your truck is in your holding company and somebody sue it, they suing the business. And you definitely shouldn't have that truck in that holding company. You definitely shouldn't do it. And again, if you have to use the holding company because the holding company has the bigger bucks, if you're getting the truck financed, the finance company should be able to structure your deal in a way. Now, I'm not a lender, so don't quote me on this, but I'm just assuming if your holding company got the biggest bag, that your holding company can actually lease a truck, or if you're the guarantor, well, the same way you could be the guarantor to lease the truck or to get the loan on the truck for the holding company, you could be the guarantor to do it for the trucking company, because the trucking company is owned by the holding company. So it shouldn't be no issue in terms of you getting a loan or getting funding to purchase the truck. But I would not put that truck in my holding company. I'm not even gonna put real estate in my holding company. Every piece of real estate, every separate business, a piece of real estate is a business. A truck is a business. So all of these businesses, I don't care if it's a vending machine. I'm not putting a vending machine in my holding company because it's a business. Because if somebody goes out there and tries to grab a bag of chips out of a vending machine that sells 25-cent chips or something, and they cut their hands, and it is owned by my holding company, I'm finna lose everything behind a doggone bag of Cheetos. So it's the same way. I'm gonna lose everything behind a semi or some type of truck that's on the road. You can't put it in your holding company.
Thank you. Makes a lot of sense.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Not right now.
Okay, so I was explaining the management of your holding company. So you're not just managing your holding company from an operational perspective. I just hate when I can't pull up what I want. Now I'm gonna try to pull it up because I just don't like the fact that I can't find it. Where my pits at? I don't see them. Here's my library. It's just all photos. Okay, here we go. Let's see here if we can find it. Holding company. Where's my holding company? I thought I had a pic. There it is. Boom. There we go. Come on, somebody.
Dale would have had it right there.
Yeah, child, please. Dale would have took 4 days to get that. So anyway, let me show you this example. I know my wife like, wow, he just exposing all his pictures on social media.
She on here.
I know. I'm sorry, baby.
She ain't text me yet.
I'm sorry, honey. I love you, boo. You know I love you.
Mom,
You know your husband cray cray, right?
she ain't saying that.
So I want to show y'all what I was talking about when it comes to managing the day-to-day operations of your holding company. So you have your holding company here, right? And then you have your operating companies here. These are the companies that you own, that your holding company owns. So I'm going back to what I'm talking about today about the one thing every business has in common. So with this holding company, you have these different businesses, right? So these different businesses need to have a marketing system, so that even if each of these businesses need to do their own marketing, need to do their own branding, they need to have their own staff, at least you have a conglomerate or a system that's set up that all roads can lead here financially, but you can also run the system cohesively. There needs to be some cohesiveness in that system that you're putting together. So you're going to need an administrative system. You're going to need not just an administrative system for your business, even if it's just one business. You need a marketing system. You also need a sales system. But one of the most important systems that you need, whether you're running a holding company or whether you're running one single business, one of the most important systems is a financial system. Because if you're an entrepreneur, even if you got a side hustle, even if you're just doing work on the side with your regular job, you should have an accounting system, a financial system to be able to track how much money you bringing in. That's your sales, that's your gross, that's your top line revenue. How much are your total expenses, and what is your net? How much is left? That's like finance 101. That's like financial management 101. This is like the basics and the fundamentals of the math with your business. So you cannot be a business owner even if you're hiring somebody to do that. You still can't use that lame excuse talking about, well, I got an accountant. Well, I got somebody who do my numbers. I got a financial manager. You still should know what's going on, because I want to know what's at the top of my revenue. I want to know what that top line is, even if I'm not putting all the information in my accounting system. Even if I got CPAs and accountants and finance managers and treasurers and everybody else doing that kind of stuff, I still want to know what's on the top line of that revenue. So when you go to QuickBooks, if you have a QuickBooks account, if you look on the side of QuickBooks and you click reports and you click profit and loss to pull up your report, that's a simulation of a financial statement, because it's going to show you how much money you brought in, your gross revenue, your sales, which means if you're not making sales, guess what? You're not in business. And that statement is going to show you all your expenses. And at the bottom of that statement, it's going to show you what your net profit is. Now, here's one reason why this very common thing every business has is so important. I want you to write this down if you're taking notes. Every business has a report card. I want you to write that down, because this is going to be some good information. Now listen, everything that I'm talking to you about, I teach in our Blueprint Game Plan program. So I can't stress about that enough. So I'm not talking about something that I'm not teaching in my program. We actually teach this in our Blueprint Game Plan program. I'm getting ready to pull the website up right now. Ramoneprestonuniversity.com. You can actually drop that in the comments, the university website. So behind me you see Ramoneprestonuniversity.com. I'm going to click up here on the top, right behind my head right there. I'm going to click Blueprint Game Plan. So I have several courses in this Blueprint Game Plan. One of them in particular is a course that teaches you about top line revenue. This course is called The Entrepreneur's Guide to Business. It is an entrepreneurship course. It is a business course, and it also has a startup kit inside. So what I teach a lot about in that course is the idea of top line revenue, the idea of sales in your business, the idea of making exchanges for your business. Because remember, if my business is no different than any other business on the planet when it comes to this one thing we all have in common, which is a financial statement, then if I start focusing on that one common denominator me and hundreds of millions of businesses around the world have, and I get good at understanding how important that is, I'm going to become creative in developing strategies on how to keep my focus on that top line, but also how to increase it. Because now I understand that, what did I just state? What did I just tell you to write down? Every business has a report card. Every business has a report card. So when you go to school every so often, every 6 weeks or 12 weeks, at least, the school gives you a what? They give you a report card.
Yeah.
The report card is based on
Maybe 6 weeks.
them doing the mathematics on where you are in your progression. So if you're not growing in that school, if you're not getting the education and applying it, guess what's going to happen? It's going to show up on what? Your report card. Your report card shows you what you have produced the last semester. So every business has a report card. Guess what the report card is? Your financial statement. So if you say, I got a business, Prophet Ramone, you know what I'm going to say? Show me your business's report card. What do you mean, show me my business report card? Show me your financial statement. Because if your business is not making no money, you got an F. Think about that. If your business is not generating revenue, and this goes for nonprofit organizations too. So you can be as deep as you want to be. You can be as super spiritual as you want to be. Every nonprofit organization has a bank account, or at least they should. Every nonprofit organization, churches, reformations, denominations, they all have financial statements if they're keeping their accounting up, which means on the top of their financial statement, I don't care if it say tithes and offerings, I don't care if it say donations, that's still revenue. It's still what's on the top line based on exchanges that they've made. So my revenue goes up when what goes up? My sales. My sales go up when what goes up? My exchanges. So if I want to increase my top line revenue, I have to increase my sales. That's why the word sales is used on a financial statement. If I want to increase my sales, I have to increase my what? I have to increase my exchanges. What do you mean exchanges? Well, what I'm doing right now with you on this show, for free by the way, is an exchange that I'm making. Because I'm giving you information that I have, that I know can bring value to you, can benefit you, and can help you in your entrepreneurship, in your business, in your personal financial situation. So because I am making that exchange, at some point, even if this exchange does not initially lead to a profit or make a profit, at some point it will lead to a profit. But why should I do this? Because I'm focusing on making an exchange. Why am I focusing on making an exchange? Because I'm focusing on getting sales or increasing my sales. Why am I focusing on increasing my sales? Because I'm focusing on increasing my top line revenue. Why am I focused on increasing my top line revenue? Because I'm focused on making sure that my business's report card looks good next quarter. Because I don't want my business to get Fs. I don't want my business to get Ds. Every business has a report card. So if you're around here talking about, yeah, I got a business, but I ain't did nothing with it, you've either dropped out of school or you failed. And guess what's going to happen? You probably going to stay back. Now you stay back a whole nother year in the same grade. You never grow in your business because you didn't grow in your exchanges, in your sales, in your top line revenue, because you didn't think about this one thing that every business has in common, that most business owners who are failing don't pay attention to. I know this to be true, because if I'm talking to a business owner and a business owner does not have some type of accounting system, if they don't have a financial manager, or even if they have that but they're not utilizing it, or if they have somebody else doing it and they don't know the numbers, I already know their report card looks bad. Just with that one system. They could be marketing, they could be advertising, they could be administrative, like geniuses. They could be corporate executives, they could be degreed and educated and everything else. If they ain't got that financial system right, I already know their report card looks bad, because your report card is not based on marketing. Your report card is not going to be based on administration. Your report card is not going to be based on other logistics or operational systems in your business. Your report card is going to be based on the financial systems that you use to keep your focus on the top line of that revenue. So if you need help even though I'm kind of putting a little pressure on you. But if you do need help with developing these systems, you need help with structuring these systems in a way that you can actually get a better report card for your business, you can either join our 1-year coaching program so that I can personally coach you and help you build that infrastructure. My team will coach you and help you build that infrastructure, and we will all walk you through the process play by play so that your next report card will look better than your last report card. So if you're interested in being a part of our 1-year business coaching program, I just pulled it up. The information is on our university platform. But today you can actually just text me or call in while we're here in the office, and we can get you plugged in. If you see on the screen, we are offering a 12-month payment plan for our coaching program, and we're offering a 24-month payment plan. So that means you can actually join an exclusive, professional 1-year business coaching program and break your payments up for 24 months. That's how serious I am and we are to helping serve you start, structure, and scale your business system. But you're gonna have to reach out to me today. You can text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. It's in the comments. You could text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. Now, I personally recommend, if you're serious about learning more financial literacy, somebody's calling. Let me see if this is a live call.
For Ramonepreston, to accept this call, press 1. To send the call.
This is Ramonepreston. You are live on the Ramonepreston Show.
Hello to everybody. Blessings to all.
How are you?
I'm good. How we doing?
I'm doing awesome. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Michael Murray. I'm actually located in Southern California.
Michael Murray in Southern California. What's up, Mike?
Well, I was calling because I was watching the live. If anything, I want to say thank you for you guys' time and everything that you guys are doing. I actually purchased the Blueprint game plan, and I'm following along and everything like that. But my main concern and question is about the operating agreement for an LLC when you have the concept of either a holding company or just whatever you're looking to do. So is it appropriate to magnify what and how the, in high quotes, baby business will operate at all costs in regards to the operating agreement? So is there such a thing like as roadkill, as meaning like putting too much info, or, because pretty much you're treating it like a person, right? You're kind of like a scientist trying to create a Frankenstein, right? And how he operates and everything like that.
Right. So you're referring to your operating agreement between your holding company and the other operating business that it owns, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you want to put as much, it really doesn't have to be loaded. I've seen people load them just because they want to be, they want to err on the side of caution. But if you just use language that is not so general that it's going to get lost in a courtroom, but it's really not going to be a court issue because you don't have other human beings involved. So a lot of times when the language is real in depth and like real detailed, a lot of times it's because there are human beings involved. So it's like, okay, I'm doing business with somebody and we're partners in this, and so that operating agreement has to be real tight. In the typical situation where it's you as the human being owning the holding company and all of these other operating businesses are being owned by your holding company, you're honestly, man, you're just pushing paperwork. You're just creating something to file it because you ain't gonna sue you. So you're the owner of the holding company that owns the business. So if something happens to that business, at the very worst case scenario, if you hire somebody in that operating business, they still don't own it. So it's never going to reach the corporate level or pierce that corporate veil, because that business is owned by another business that's owned by you. So you control the narrative across the board. So the language really doesn't have to be like all that sophisticated. It's no different than if you are creating a LLC that your holding company is going to own, and the equipment or the information, the content that your operating business is going to own. It's just a matter of you as the owner of your holding company drafting a contract and saying, here's the leasing agreement to use my intellectual property, or here's the agreement to use my equipment for operating business number 3. And then you just go get it notarized, because you're the owner of the holding company, and you're just putting that in a file to make sure you have it in the event there is anything that comes up, and you can show I got a paper trail. But other than that, you're the only person that's going to see it. Because it's not like that operating business is going to take you to court. Your business owns it. Your holding company owns it. So you're not taking you to court.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so you just draft your operating agreements between your holding company and your operating companies just to have one, because that is your constitution. And it's really just to make sure that if there's a worst case scenario where something happens to you, somebody can step in, a family member or something, and have that data there to show, no, Mike wanted this business here to operate like this, and he put that in the operating agreement that he has between his holding company and his operating company. That business is strictly for real estate, or that business is strictly to lease equipment, or that business is strictly to house copyright. So that's what he wants. But if that never happens, you're always controlling that narrative. And when something changes in one of those businesses, you just go back and amend it and go get it notarized again and put it back in the file. Make sense?
Yes, most definitely. I greatly appreciate your time and all those gems. I definitely got to take some more notes, and I'll be hopping back on the live. Thank you for everything that you do.
All right, man. I appreciate you, and we're here for you. Anything we can do, just reach out to us. Okay, Mike?
Blessings to all.
Okay, blessings to you too, my friend. Bye-bye. That was a good question. So he was asking a question, just in case y'all couldn't hear it, he was asking a question about your operating agreement, because when you're structuring a holding company, if I can go back to that picture, when you're structuring a holding company, let me show you for an example here. Let me pull up this holding company. When you're structuring a holding company, by the way, if you have any questions about holding companies, or you're just interested in learning more, I just mentioned it, and you heard Michael Murray mention it as well. He's on our Blueprint Game Plan program, so he's learning a lot about holding companies, and he has access to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other courses on financial literacy and holding companies and entrepreneurship. But just to show you a visual image of what I was discussing with Michael on the phone, when you own this holding company, okay, you have other operating companies that you're going to start that your holding company owns. So when you're filing your LLC paperwork for the holding company, you're going to be the owner of that, or you and your spouse, depending on how your situation is. But these companies are not going to be owned by you. These companies are going to be owned by your holding company. So LLC number 1, let's say, is owned by you. LLC number 2, 3, 4, 5, and beyond are owned by your holding company. So he was asking about the language in, okay, thank you. He was asking about the language in the operating agreement. Because when you start a company, like a holding company, they have operating agreements. Corporations have bylaws, they have articles of incorporation, they have constitutions. LLCs have operating agreements. These are the agreements to basically spell out what are the do's and don'ts of this LLC, what the purpose of it is, what happens if somebody dies, what happens if it's dissolved, what happens with the shares that the members own. All of that language and information is drafted in your operating agreement. By the way, I do have operating agreements in our holding company course on our blueprint game plan. But when you have operating companies owned by your holding company, remember, even though a human does not own these, because a business entity owns these, but you're the human that owns these. So your operating agreement that you're going to just have for the sake of having paperwork and a paper trail, that operating agreement, and listen, you might not want to quote me on this. You might want to talk to a lawyer because I don't know the nuances. I'm just speaking in general. I'm not a lawyer. I don't legally draft operating agreements, okay? If I have an operating agreement or any type of contract that's real important that I need to draft, I'm going to talk to a lawyer. I'm going to talk to an expert to make sure the language is right, the clauses are correct. So I'm just giving you this general synopsis so you can at least see what I'm referring to. The operating agreement your holding company is going to have between your operating companies is going to be different than an operating agreement you're going to have if you and a partner or you and 6 partners start a LLC. The language is going to be different. It's going to be more in depth. It's going to be more specific to a lot of things, because this operating agreement that you're going to have between or in these companies, this operating agreement is just going to show what the do's and don'ts are of these LLCs and what the holding company perhaps has the legal flexibility to do, in which it has all legal flexibility because it owns it. So anytime you're answering or asking those type of legal questions, once you start leaning into the legal side of it, whether it's about contracts, operating agreements, whether it's about accounting or taxes, I always recommend that you talk to an expert so that they can give you the right information, because people like me, we know a lot of things about what we know about, but there are a lot of things we don't know about. So I'm not going to be on here capping, acting like I know everything about taxes, everything about operating agreements, everything about contracts. No, I don't. I have lawyers and professionals and experts who know a lot about those things, because when I have those questions, I push those questions to them so that I can have the answer and at least give some type of general understanding to my clients when I am speaking to them, with the clause that you still need to talk to somebody. So I appreciate all of you. Thank y'all for watching the show today. It was centered around the one thing every business has in common, which is a financial statement, which starts with sales, which ends with net income, and you need to know those financial statements, and you need to have a financial system. If you need help structuring those types of systems, if you need help structuring your holding company the right way, we have a 1-year business coaching program available. We offer 24-month payment plans for this 1-year business coaching program. And watch this. In this 1-year business coaching program, we're giving you access to our world-class blueprint game plan program. This program right here that I just talked about, that Mike who just called in is talking about, we're giving you access to this entire blueprint game plan program for free for 1 year. But the bonus is you not only get the online training for 1 year, but you get us personally walking you through the coaching process for your business. And guess what? If you, like Michael or others, if you already have our blueprint game plan, and you want to upgrade to our 1-year business coaching program, we will actually deduct the cost of your blueprint game plan from the coaching program, and we'll just break the difference up in 12 or in 24-month payments. So if you have the blueprint game plan and you just need some help from a professional level, to have a coach and a team with you and to be part of an exclusive group who's on a journey for a year to reach 6 figures and beyond, I want you to reach back out to me if you have it and you want to upgrade it. We're allowing all of our blueprint game plan purchases. Anybody that's got a blueprint game plan, you can get that cost deducted from our coaching program and you can have an opportunity to get approved for our 24-month payment plan. So I love y'all, appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow right here on the Ramone Preston Show. Peace.